Alright. Another 2021 movie review is here. Survive the Game, starring Chad Michael Murray, Bruce Willis, and directed by James Cullen Bressak. Not to be confused with Survive the Night, also starring Chad Michael Murray, Bruce Willis, and directed by Bressak. So, yeah. This is one I bought. I bought Fortress, which stars them, and I saw this sitting there. I'm like, you know what? I'll buy this one too. And it came out this year, so there's another one. Add to my list for the ranking. But, yes. So the story of this movie is that two partners, one of them is Bruce Willis, are on a mission. They're cops. They're on a mission, and Bruce Willis gets shot and is left for dead, I think. And his partner ends up on this chase with the criminals to this farmhouse owned by Chad Michael Murray's character Eric. And the two of them end up waging war against this gang and to save the wounded Bruce Willis, whose name is David in this. So first and foremost, there were some things that bothered me about this movie. I did like this movie, don't get me wrong. There's some good action scenes, some. One thing that bothered me, you see Bruce Willis on the cover, right? He does shit in this film. Like, he doesn't... He gets shot. Oh, just so you know, if you hear something outside, there's people doing construction stuff for something out there. So, it's the reason why I couldn't take a nap today. So, you get this movie review instead. Me taking a nap. But Bruce Willis plays David. He's shot early on in this film, and I believe he's left for dead. I was kind of out of it at the beginning of this movie, but... his partner, played by Sven Tamil, partner Cal, tries to chase down these criminals. Two of which, one of them is Zach Ward, and his girlfriend, character's girlfriend, who is obviously a rip-off of Harley Quinn. I mean, come on, she's blonde. She's got some makeup on. She got the little heart tattoo on her cheek, and the way she talks and acts, they're ripping off Harley Quinn like hardcore with her. You can't tell me they're not. But he gets to this farmhouse, which is owned by Eric, played by Chad Michael Murray, and then he ends up on the run from this gang, and they find out that David's still alive, and then the criminals are holding him in Eric's house. So they gotta get back to Eric's house in there to save him. And okay, so first and foremost, if you're expecting an action film with Bruce Willis kicking ass, you're not getting that. He basically just sits there in a chair for the entire runtime until the end, when he tries to do something and then gets captured again and then does something and movie's over. And doesn't do much in this film, to be honest. I don't know. There was something where he was injured and couldn't do this. I don't know. It looks like in Fortress he's doing more, so hopefully we'll get something. But fight choreography with him is very meh. There were some decent action scenes. There's like a car chase scene. There's some fight scenes. But there was a couple, like one specifically, where when they get back into the house, there's a fight upstairs. It's completely in shadow because of the glare coming in. And oh my God, okay, I don't know what's going on with the cinematographer, but there is way too much camera glare in this. Like, it's like there's a scene where Chad Michael Murray's character and the Eric and the partner Cal, they're in the car and they're chasing the other one. And the car comes and goes right into them, right? And then you get this thing where, you know, he might be dying, even though he's never close to death. And you see his dead wife, which I'll get into, which is played by his real wife, Sarah Reamer, whatever you call Reamer. And so he's not your time. And you get this weird, like, the lens flare thing. And you're like, oh, it's that kind of effect. But then it just kind of stays there. They don't get rid of it. And when they go to the next scene, where they show inside where you got David with one of the other dogs, there's still some glare coming through. So it's like, this guy uses the glare too much. I know that Steven Spielberg perfected the lens flare, but that's not a good thing, okay? And then, like I said, there you get the action scene where there's the lens flare, but there's also like they're secluded and they're like, covered in shadows. You can't see anything. You just see silhouettes fighting. I'm like, what fight scene is this? This is stupid. And beyond that, the villains are just stereotypical villains. They're bad guys to beat bad guys. They want to kill people, and it's one of those, take out the bad guys to get to where they gotta get to kind of movie. And even the kills in this aren't that impressive. They're mostly off screen. Some of them, it's a gunshot and dead. And sometimes I think this only happens a couple times, but it seems like some actors aren't even in the same place. Specifically, the one that I caught was towards the end of the film when you got David, and he just takes out this one guy, and then I think her name's Lisa comes up, and she's like, ooh, and she got the gun, and she fires, and they're not on the same screen. It's as her, and she fires the gun, and it cuts back to him, and we don't even see like a bullet come at him, and then he fires a gun, and it cuts back to her. She's like, oh, and she runs, and I'm like, that seems put together. Like, we don't see gunshots on either side. Like, there's no bullets firing. What? No. And I feel like they foreshadow too much. Like, after the cars crash, they show gas dripping, right, from the thing. And then they do it again. And then later, when Eric and Eric and Cal go to get David. They come out, and Cal's like this, and he's like, Cal, you idiot, run! And then here comes Eric, and he's like, Cal! Fires the shot, of course, explosions, and by that point, of course, you foreshadowed it too much. We saw what was going to happen. You keep showing it dripping down, we know that it's going to, you don't even have to do it once, to be honest, if even. Also, Bruce Willis, his voice, I don't know, maybe too many years of smoking cigarettes, but he sounds terrible. I don't know why, but he kind of sounds like this. I'm gonna kill you. He keeps saying to this one guy. What the fuck are you doing? Get out of here. Just, I don't know. He sounds like he doesn't care. Like, hey, I'm getting a paycheck. He sounds like he's drunk and he doesn't care. I don't know, maybe, but not the best performance. I think the best performance is Chad Michael Murray. But then again, he does have that stereotypical character arc where, he's out there on his own, and then when he's asked, "Well, you got any wife? You don't got anyone that could be in trouble? No wife, no kids?" And the way he's like, "No." I'm like, oh, well, we're doing this. His wife and his kid, probably daughter, died. And sure enough, his wife and his daughter died at some point. And now he's out there. Because you get that right at the beginning, he gets a gun pointed at him. He's like, go ahead, do it. I don't care. And he takes a drink of alcohol. And it's like, okay, that combined with when he says no, yeah, something happened to them. We're going through all the cliches, I guess, in this movie, but for the most part, it was enjoyable to a point, but it's nothing to write home about. It's a stereotypical direct-to-video action film. The Fortress looks better, although I did not look at the trailer for this to see if that, but it has the same director, but for the most part, it's not bad. I'm going to say middle of the road, because to me, it didn't work. I wanted to see Bruce Willis kicking ass. I didn't get that. Hopefully Fortress does give me that, at least at some point. Chad Michael Murray's in that one too, but he's playing the bad guy. This is the second of 3 movies that they've been in together. There were Survive the Night, this one, and Fortress. And apparently they're making 2 more Fortress movies. They're going to throw those out like the Escape Room movies, because that works so well. I haven't done the other 2 movies. I'm going to, but, eventually. But yeah, so it's middle of the road for me. So what are your thoughts on Survive the Game? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.